Well, hello again. My name is Pastor Jim from First Lutheran Church here in Beaver Dam. Welcome to our Fireside Chat. Now, the last time we were together, I promised you that we would have a guest today who is one of our employees here at the church, Mr. Bob Banks, and he is our facility manager. So I want to welcome Bob today, and we want to know more about Bob, a little bit about who Bob is and where is he from, and some of his hobbies and things that he enjoys doing. And then the big question, what does it mean to be a facility manager? That's a big title, and Bob's going to tell us what it is that he does and why is he so important to this congregation. All right, Bob?
Hello there, I'm Bob Banks, Facilities Manager here at First Lutheran Church. I'm 70 years old and doing this all in retirement and loving it all. But going back a few years, I was a St. Pete's boy, born and raised here in Beaver Dam. My mother was an elementary teacher at St. Pete's and St. Pat's, and my father was an auto fasteners specialist. And he would travel all over the state. So it was a joy when he got home, because then we'd all be together laughing and playing. He was usually gone during the week. But we've got a real strong family. Our last reunion, there was 63 at the reunion. And we have a ton of fun. It's a 3-day event at somebody's house. Or this year, we're thinking of going to commercial property, because it's getting so big, it's too much for one person's house. But then we go back to grade school at St. Pete's and Beaver Dam High School, and I went on to a year of college at La Crosse. Decided I didn't want to be a student anymore and wanted to get into construction. My father had built a house, and I was 14 at the time, and every day after school, I would come home and go play with the carpenters on the job who were building the home. Well, it got in my blood, and the smell of sawdust and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to be a carpenter, but Dad said, go try college for a year. He wanted me to be a pathologist. Well, that didn't fly too well. I went for about a year, and then I said, that's just not working, Dad. And he said, well, okay, then you go be a carpenter. So took me a couple years to get into the industry, but moved down to Madison, got an outfit out of Sun Prairie, got my apprenticeship down there, and then worked for the Madison Home Builders Association. And then decided I didn't like the driving back and forth to Madison all the time. So I moved back to Beaver Dam, got a job with a local company. In fact, I had 3 different jobs that I selected because of the people who were working for those companies. Because I wanted to fine-tune my trade to do what I wanted to do, which was finish carpentry and cabinet building. So I ended up starting my own business 7 years later in 1979. And been doing that right up till I retired in 3 years ago. And so then, of course, you're so busy. I was doing that for some 42 years, and every day I'm getting up after I retired. I mean, retirement's great, but you're still just not connected somehow to the thing that made you work for 43 years and you enjoyed so much. And the main thing about that all was the people. Working for people and getting to know all the families, getting to know all the resources, all the contractors. It was just fun, very, very fun. So I was working on a little project for myself, and I needed to paint a door. And it was a steel door, so I took it over to Sean Bradley's, who was my painter for the last 10 years, commercially. And we're talking, and he looks at me and he says, Bob, you got any idea what you're going to do in retirement? And I said, I'm doing it. I love to hunt. I love to fish, I love to golf, and I'm doing all that. He says, and that's working for you? And I said, well, I have a few spare hours here and there. And then Sean said, what do you think, would you be interested in being a maintenance man? And I said, where? And he said, at my church. And then I said, okay, that's got a possibility, because now I'm thinking I get back to connecting with people, and I love talking and being with people. So that's what brought me to where I am today, and I started here back, let's see, that was January 1st of 2019, and this has been great. I just love it. I get to meet people. I take care of the building. My 43 years in construction really kind of brought me to this point of being able to take care of all these different elements in a commercial building like this. So I'm loving the job, and make sure that if you see me in the building, usually I got a hat on, so you might not recognize me, and I got a mask on, so, but that's me. Just yell, say, "Hey Bob, how you doing?" And I'll slow down and stop and talk to you. Doesn't have to be for long, because I'm pretty busy. So other than that, that's what brought me to this place. And I'm pretty happy here.
All right, Bob, thank you so much. I learned a lot from you today, and I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you're happy, and we're all happy as well. And I want to thank you so much for being with us, joining us today for our fireside chat. And so whenever you see Bob in the building, stop and say hi, and you will be pleased, because he's a man that's very pleasing, and you'll learn a lot from him. So that concludes today our fireside chat, and so next month, please join us, because we have a very special guest, and I'm not going to tell you who she is, but a very special guest next month, and I'm excited to interview her and learn from her. So please stay tuned. Until then, take care. Goodbye.